into the classroom and family, engagement events, supporting the learning environment where children see their identity reflected and respected. Am I going too fast or is everyone okay? Okay, good.
Good, good.
Some of the requirements in order to enroll in the Portland Public Schools pre-K program is that children must be 3 years old by September 1st, and they have to live within the Portland Public School district boundaries. We do prioritize families with the least access, and some priority populations include low income, experiencing homelessness, receiving any public assistance such as SNAP, TANF, SSI, foster care, refugee status. And then the enrollment process is, it's fairly easy, so families can apply online, and this is our website here. There's also a chance for them to apply using paper applications if they would like to do that. And we get notified of the new applicants, and then we go ahead and follow up with them, and we give them the next steps. And some of the eligibility documents that we do request is income verification, proof of address, age verification, and immunization records. And then we do have 14 different locations for our kids to attend pre-K. So here are some of our different locations. And then we also have this little map here that can guide you to our various locations. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Ruth. That was
Yeah.
great. I think you have a couple of questions in the chat. And you can just respond to them in the chat so we can move on to the next presenter. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay. Next we have Harmony Academy, and we have Dante Mathis presenting. Is Dante here?
Oh, good. Yeah, I see you. Dante, you're on mute. I don't know if you... Okay, great.
Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. Let me see if I can share my screen here.
Maybe.
What would they say?
Give me 1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So my name is Dante Mathis. I am a recovery services coordinator here at Harmony Academy. If you guys are not familiar with Harmony Academy, we are Oregon's very first recovery high school in the state of Oregon. Our principal, Sharon Dursey Martin, opened up this school in 2019. We are at the old Marywoods campus here located in Lake Oswego. We have a max capacity of 60 students. We currently, at the end of the school year, we ended with about 40 students. If you guys are not familiar what a recovery high school is, the purposes of a recovery high school is to educate and support students in recovery from substance use and co-occurring disorders. Students that are enrolled at Harmony are working on an abstinence-focused recovery program. as agreed upon by the school. Each recovery high school meets the state requirements for awarding a secondary school diploma. Recovery high schools rely on multiple sources of funding. Most are publicly funded, and evidence shows that students in recovery high schools, compared to non-recovery high school students, have higher graduation rates and report significant lower absenteeism, and are more likely to abstain from using any substances. Okay. I have a quick, I want to say 2-minute video, if that, that I want to share. If that works.
Addiction is not a moral failing.
Can you guys hear
It's a
that?
condition of the brain for which there's a solution. Harmony Academy is that kind of solution for adolescents.
It is an amazing opportunity to have a school where kids can show up, be themselves, say, hey, I'm struggling today, or help out another child who's struggling that day.
Having a recovery high school like we have here, I would have had that support and that community and those people to talk to that were on the same journey, the same path, as I wanted to be, but just had no idea that was an option.
With this first of a kind recovery school, young Oregonians in the metropolitan area have a safe environment to work on their recovery while also being successful at school. OHA is excited to be able to be a part of this effort.
Adolescents across our state deserve access to this kind of robust continuum of care where they have academic supports and recovery supports in the same context.
We know that kids who are able to participate in a program like this are more likely to stay in school, more likely to graduate, more likely to stay in recovery.
It's making sure that nobody feels limited by this disease, that they know that they can attain whatever it is that they want to attain, and that they're not bad and that they're not discarded. They haven't burned all their bridges. They have every opportunity to move ahead.
Okay. This is Harmony. All right, so how the process works, the referral process, we get students from all over. I think we serve just over 18 districts. And what it looks like is if students are struggling with addiction or substance use in their home schools, then someone would either reach out to us, whether it be the counselor, the outreach workers. They're identifying students that are struggling with substance use. They find us through either through outreach or just, we've had many media exposures throughout the community. So a parent or guardian would bring their student to Harmony Academy, and we would, usually myself, the counselor or the principal, we'd go through trying to get some demographic information from the student and just figure out what their struggles are. And then we do like a self-assessment, kind of figure out if it's a right fit for Harmony Academy. If a student is like currently in active use, basically I want to say we don't turn kids away. It's ideal for a student to attend Harmony Academy that is struggling with substance use. So we welcome that. We are not to be confused with a treatment facility, although we are abstinence focused. So we do support students in reducing the usage of their substance use. And it's a community where students, although some are struggling, there are others that celebrate their recovery. Okay, so if a student comes in, whether it be through the courts, I want to say we are a choice school. Sorry for the bell. We are a choice school, so students can't be placed here. Like they have to want to be here. So students will come, they would sit in a meeting. I would then take the students on a tour. I would do a UA, I would do that assessment. I would do like an interview to get some background information. from the student. If the student agrees that they would like to give us a shot, they would do what we call a shadow day. That's them bring a student around as an actual student. It's a vibe check. They see if they like what they're being taught. They see if they like the teachers. They see if they appreciate the embrace of the students, or if they're like, you know what, I don't like this place, never bring me there again. But if that shadow day works out and they decide that they want to attend our school, then what we would then do is enroll them within a week after their shadow day. On that intake process, we also do a UA. That's kind of our baseline to see what the student has in their system and what we know we need to work on with that student that is going through their substance use challenges. We are 9 through 12, regular high school, some of the core classes, math, science, English, humanities, PE. We got some really good electives, film studies, philosophy, creative writing, and as you can see, financial literacy. So the credit recovery, if students come in and they are credit deficient, we have a credit recovery class that they can work on those credits. We also, for the 2026 school year, are offering some psychology classes as well. Every student that attends our school is paired up with a mentor. We have a school therapist. Our therapist isn't like diagnosing anyone or administering any kind of medication, but there are some mental health supports there that the school therapist would support our students. And we also have a SPED case manager. A lot of our collaborations, like such, we do a lot of outreach to different organizations. A lot of our students attend work with 4D. We have mutual aid that comes in, AANA that comes in twice a week and presents to the kid. And we also have some student-led meetings that are held in the morning time. We call it Recovery 101. It's considered health. So students do receive credit for attending Recovery 101 first thing in the morning. Let's see. Breakfast and lunch are provided. A lot of people, and these are all at no cost. So a lot of people feel like it's a barrier because we are in Lake Oswego. I want to say transportation is free. Okay. We are contracted with a program called Assist, and what Assist essentially is an Uber for young adults. So Assist will pick your student up either at a hub spot, somewhere deemed safe and appropriate for the student, or it could be the assist driver is pulling up to a student's house and just waiting on the student. As you may know, with high school students, some assist drivers have to pull off because students don't like to get up too early. So, but we will make sure that transportation is provided for the students, a follow-up as well. Events, we have some after-school events. We also have some clubs. We just recently finished off cooking club. We got gardening club. We have some flower boxes being created in the back of our school. We have a few clubs going on, and we are open to ideas with new students coming in, like if they have some clubs that were at their previous school that they would like to start here, we are more than open to that. Let's see. Activities. We do a lot of career prep, career readiness, tours. We take students to a lot of different colleges, PCC, Mount Hood, Clackamas, just to prepare them for that next step in their lives. We take, I want to say this is a very unique school because I don't know too many schools that take kids on ski trips and we go pumpkin patch. We just actually went to the Jurassic Legoland at OMSI before graduation. We actually just had our graduation on Saturday. So we got to see some amazing, resilient students cross the finish line. We also have yoga sometimes. And we, as the picture you see there is one of our community partners came in and did some mindfulness that was a pretty successful event. And the students really enjoyed that. These are some of our students. And again, we've taken to corn mazes, the aquariums, and that top picture on the left is one of our groups. You know, it's not necessarily an AA setting where you got to stand up and say, "Hey, my name is Dante and I'm an alcoholic." But in our community room, which is the largest room of our school, we do allow students to have those uncomfortable conversations. And as you can see from the looks on some of their faces, they are okay with sharing. They understand that every student that comes in here, their story is not unique in a bad way, but we want to make sure that they know that they come as they are, and the staff here are going to meet them where they're at when they come and make them feel comfortable and safe to be here at our school. Any questions? I know I kind of spoke pretty fast, but if there's any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, Dante, thank you so much for your presentation. There's a bunch of questions in the comments. Your school is amazing. The work that you do is amazing. A lot of people feel the same way in the comments. I've seen people offering to come. So if you just go through the comment section,
Yes.
respond to them, and then maybe if we have time afterwards, we can do like a live Q&A.
And I also just let me throw in on July the 25th is a Friday. And I apologize, we don't have a flyer just yet, but I'm working on that today. But July 25th, Friday, we are going to have a block party, and all are invited. So we're going to have a gaming truck. We're going to have a dunk tank. We're going to have like a big blow up obstacle like thing for adults to come and have some fun. There's going to be food. And I want to be able to reach out to some community partners. If you guys would like to table at this event, it's going to be big.
Great, great. Share the flyer with us and we'll share it with everybody who attended as a follow-up. And I hope people come out and table and support. Thank you so much, Dante.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Next we have Day One Tech, and it's Benjamin L. presenting.
Sure. Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Great. So I'll share our website and some of our social media in a moment, if everything technically works. Again, my name is Benjamin Losthart. I'm the executive director and founder of Day One Tech STEM. We provide culturally responsive education and entertainment programs in East County. That would be Portland and Gresham. And we work in schools, and we work with apartments, affordable housing, and we work with community partners. I'll go ahead and start with sharing our website. Let's see if this works. And then, because two things I would certainly like, getting one second here. Okay. Can we see the website? Awesome. Okay, so two things I'd like to get out of this. I'd like everyone to know of our website and our Instagram. It's very important for the work that we're going to be doing, especially in the summer. Where's the chat? Now I lost the chat. One second here.
Did put the website in the chat. So, and if you want me to put Instagram, I could do that too.
Let's start with there. I appreciate that.
Perfect. Yeah.
So here's our website, day1tech.org. But I'm going to highlight something, a little Easter egg in here. It's a page that I call a memory. So on this page, so I'm going to share a story, a little bit about our story and where we came from. So this particular picture was taken about 4+ years ago. So we started our organization shortly after 2020 began. And we started the organization, me and a collection of educators of color, because we saw a gap, specifically in STEM programming, but in youth programming as well, where the kids with the highest needs often didn't have a place in after school programs and or programs that just existed for kids. And they're kids who either are undiagnosed, and not stating that diagnosed is the key, but there are often resources within that framework that can be supportive for kids who have high needs. But also kids from from underserved communities, for disenfranchised places, and oftentimes kids like this would be kicked out of programs because organizations wouldn't have the capacity to work with these kids. So we found a space, and we wanted to create another resource for kids that could create a safe space to learn new concepts. So this particular picture, we started just with one program working out of the Boys and Girls Club. And we would meet every week at PCC Southeast in one of the free rooms, and that was our office. And our first program was a program that merged Lego robotics with hip hop beat making and acrylic arts, as a way to kind of create a large space of interest and novelty, and to keep attention spans focused. And within this space, we had a very unique program that kept kids engaged that normally wouldn't be engaged for more than 30 minutes. And we kept them engaged for about 4 hours each Saturday. In the very background, you might not be able to see it, or maybe you will. Our original lesson plans on our original framework was based around music. So we used music as a way to introduce our programs and give kids the opportunity to develop their own day using the staff of music. That's a little more involved, but again, these are the type of innovative approaches that we use to run our programs. From there, we fast forwarding, the program worked, and we saw something that could be an asset to the community. And from there, we started running summer programs. We started connecting with other partners, started connecting with organizations, companies, and we developed a program that now, and for the sake of time, has through any given season, we work from anywhere between 6 to 11 schools, elementary, middle schools, and high schools, providing after-school programs. And we work anywhere from 3 to 6 apartment complexes, working with affordable housing and transitional housing as well, providing a safe space to understand critical thinking concepts. Oftentimes in our communities, especially under-resourced, there isn't a lot of time to do a lot of thinking, as folks are living in trauma, either from the past, present, or the future. And what we do is provide a culturally responsive space to feel safe. And then from there, we provide entry-level technology experiences. And through the concepts and designs of technology such as STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, plus art, and the scientific method, there are sequential thinking patterns. There are step-by-step processes that oftentimes kids in our communities and adults go to 0 to 100 without thinking much in between. So what we do through play therapy and through things that are interesting, mostly technology, is to, again, introduce this idea that there may be an additional step in thinking about making a decision. So that's what our program is based off of. We also believe STEM is a set of processes that our collective ancestors have been using since, well, for a very long time, depending on our belief systems, to take care of societies, create civilizations, and to take care of our planet. It's only now within modern society that we look at something called STEM, but everything that we have around us is based off of things that we have seen in nature for a very long time. So we look at STEM as in everything that is around us, and we have a inherent right to understand the processes that our planet and nature has given to us. So that's a piece of our philosophy and some of the work that we do. So this was this was a picture that I appreciate a lot. It was one of our very first pictures we took and our very first website that doesn't exist right now. Very first swag and an older version of a robot that we use in Lego robotics. Secondly, I'll go ahead and share our Instagram page. Did that switch for everyone? Okay, so if you can put the Instagram page, that would be great. It's day1tech.org. Definitely, I would love everyone to follow us on Instagram. We will be using this a lot in the summer, and we are now. I'm going to share a few things. I think there's might be some.
I'm walking down this road of mine, this road that I call home. So am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? But that's just how I feel. But that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see. Am I tripping for having a vision? My prediction, I'ma be on top of the world. Walk the road, don't look back. Always do what you decide. Don't let them control your life. That's just how I feel. Oh, fight for yours, so don't let go. Don't let them compare you, no. Don't worry, you're not alone. That's just how we feel. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Thinking that we could be something for real. Now am I wrong? Am I wrong? For trying to reach the things that I can't see. But that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see.
So, did you all hear the music? I want to make sure. Okay, cool. The music is a vibe. I'm a music theory major from way back in the day, so music is a big part of the work that we do. But I'm sharing a few of these things so that you can see an example of some of the stuff that we do in the community. That was an event that we did with the Rosewood Initiative. We tabled at the Rosewood Initiative also in the summer. We'll have a summer camp with Rosewood Initiative, which is super awesome. Next, I'll go through a couple more of the quarters.
Lost it to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm saying like, bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. Lost it to the neck, but now.
So on Fridays and Saturdays, we have a makerspace on 170th and Division, 16955 to be exact, and we open it up for the community where we have free barbecue, meat and veggies. Myself, I'm vegetarian, although we see meat here. We offer all types of food for the community, and we open our space for video gaming and music on Fridays and Saturday nights. I'm gonna move over that one, so some more people have more of our events. Skip through a couple of these. These are events that we've gone to, are a part of. This was our esports team, so we're big into video games and using video games as a tool to to provide all types of resources. And we partner with East Metro STEAM Partnership as well as Mount Hood Community College to competitive gaming in esports. Esports is a competitive video game playing.
The west side of the net of the epoxy, not defended, not in the one that will do it. Oh, far, not in the just Erie's point.
See here. Here's an example of some of the work that we do of one of our apartments, Songbird Apartments in inner Northeast Portland. We have a Lego robotics team, and this is them doing some of the work here. And more with art. This is we were at a school in North Portland where we tabled and provided some activities for kids. And same thing here, David Douglas's first powwow, which was super awesome. Um, Here's a good picture here. Let's see if I can get back here. Maybe not. Yeah, well, anyways, I'll go ahead and stop. Well, how am I doing on time?
You're actually out of time,
Okay,
but you've dropped your Instagram page there, and we have your website. If you want, you can drop your email as well, and people can reach out to you directly.
sure. And I'll say if I can have a couple more seconds.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're doing a lot of work in the summer, and our priority is to connect with partners. So it always is. We're very collaborative in our work, especially as things start to change within the world. We believe collaboration is a huge component that will help us all get through and not dissolve. We will be one of our programs is a B-Fi program, and we will be popping up in neighborhoods doing micro resource fairs, basically having purple canopies. And one of the goals in that program is to connect with community partners and have those partners come and hang out with us in our canopies. We'll have these type of recreational activities and also free haircuts, fades, and braids for the community members. But I would love for everyone here to contact me. I'll put our information email in the chat so that we can develop a network of community and partnership. And we would like to host folks to come out and connect to the communities that we'll be in. The communities that we'll be in will be high-risk areas that have been identified in Portland, and we're also working to do the same thing in Gresham. That's the B-Fi project. So it's a big collaborative piece. And lastly, on the website, we're developing a map and a digital civic infrastructure that will connect all of the work that we do on the website, and it will be a huge resource for community partners to connect with community and also start to understand a little bit more about community needs, as we're going to have a big survey piece to the work that we do that's going to have a digital infrastructure as well. So that's a big conversation. Love to talk with anyone who would like to talk to us about that, but we're out here doing the work in East County and also in North Portland, in New Columbia and the Coley area. So thank you all for the time. I'll enter my information in the chat and answer questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. That was a great presentation, and I love the work you're doing in the community. I love the events. They all look very entertaining, but also educational, which is key. Thank you so much. You
Thank
have
you.
some questions in the chat, and I think people also want to collaborate with you.
Yes, yeah. And then super lastly, sorry, we are still looking for partners to run our programs either at schools or community centers or events. So we have the capacity to do so, and that's it. All right, I'll look at the chat. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. Send me any other information you want me to share with the participants today, and we can send it to them afterwards.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. That was great. Okay. Next up, we have Multnomah County Library, and the presenter will be John Charge.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to share today. And I will get my slides up here for you all. Okay. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
Wonderful. Thanks for your help. So my name is John Church, and I work with the community engagement team at Multnomah County Library. I saw in the chat thread that some of you are outside of Multnomah County Library's service area. And so with knowing that little bit about who's here today, I would encourage you to explore similar programs that I'm going to highlight in your communities as well. And we're going to talk a lot about the summer reading program. And I believe the majority of community libraries in the state of Oregon are participating in that. So there's going to be some overlap, hopefully, with things that are happening in our community as maybe where you live as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the summer programs for kids, teens, and families that you could find at Multnomah County Libraries this summer. And I'll leave some contact info as well if you have follow-up questions. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, so if you're familiar with the summer reading program, I believe it's somewhere in maybe it's like 25th, 30th year in the Portland metro area now. It's an initiative that works to keep kids reading through the summer. So there is incentives, there's programs, there's all kinds of things happening at the library to keep children and families reading through the summer. And here's an example of the game boards for this year. This year's theme has to do with gaming. So it looks like maybe the game board for younger folks is, sort of designed around something that looks like Pac-Man, but some of the gifts that we're hanging out and that we're handing out as incentives, you can see might have to do with dice, and playing cards, and so on. So when participants read or fill out time on their game board, they can come into the library and get a stamp on their game board for a prize. Prize levels are now staggered throughout the summer on specific dates. So more information can be found about that in your game boards if you get them. But I think it's like June 30th, July 15th, and July 31st are the dates. So you'll see those levels. If you have young ones participating, they might want to go in right now, especially if they've been reading. But the incentives won't be staged until the specific dates. So have a look at your game board. I also want to say that there's also a game board for adults now also, and each year the prizes seem to be getting better for that and more attractive to folks in the community. So if you want to participate, that's something that you can do as well on your own or with other people in your home. So I mentioned some of the prizes, books. We also hand out books, and then there's coupons from some of our community partners as well. And some of these are actually like pretty awesome if you start to think about like the monetary value on some of these things. Some of them are just fantastic in that, like, you can get a few extra passes to the community pool in your neighborhood or something like that. So definitely give them a look and work with your young readers on what makes best sense to you all as you come to get your prizes. There's also shirts that we give away, onesies for young little people listening to stories, of course, and then shirts from, I think, really small sizes up until like into the XLs and so on. And so that's an example of what this year's shirt looks like. And then there's programs that you can attend for free on your own or with young readers in your home. And here's some examples. We have a team of border collies that come out and do lots of fun tricks for people in the audience. There's a bunch of music programs, craft activities, and so on. And the best way to find out about these is to go to the library's website. I've circled where you can go straight to events and classes there. And as you do that, you can filter by age group, you can filter by location. And then one thing that you might want to keep in mind is some events will ask you to register, especially if it's something that's going to be a popular event or something where they're doing restricted resources for those in attendance. So sometimes we have these wonderful workshops for usually teens and tweens throughout the summer where, it'll be a series of 5 afternoons and they'll work together on, say, like a video project or a music project or something like that. Those often have registration requirements. So keep that in mind. Most of the programs in the library are first come, first serve. And some of them are very popular and there'll be attendance tickets ahead of time. So again, have a look at the events page ahead of time, and definitely keep in mind that we are in the middle of renovations throughout the library system. So we have 19 locations, but the one nearest you may not be open right now. It's important to look at the website or give us a call ahead of time, because I think moving into next week or the next couple weeks, there's another library that's going to close for a few months, the Hollywood Library. It's a very popular library. Also, with that said, the one next to you may be opening in the next couple of weeks too. So check the schedule. I know going into July, we're very happy to have the Albina Library reopen. I think it's off of Knott, in between Knott and Russell, over by the Dishman Community Center. And that's going to be a massive expansion compared to the library branch that was in the neighborhood. So we also have mobile libraries serving the St. John's community currently with their library closed, and we'll be serving some days out in the Rockwood community while Rockwood is currently under renovations as well. So that's it. I think I feel like I've talked pretty quick, but I'll look at the chat thread, and definitely let us know how you would like to see programs and services play out in your community library. Thanks for the time to share.
Thank you so much, John. It seems like you also have some questions in the chat. Thank you for your presentation. You guys have amazing programs as well. Thank you. Next up, we have Great Life Mentoring, and the presenter will be Cindy Fritz.
Thank you so much. It's been a real blessing for me to hear about all of these amazing programs in the community. My name is Cindy Fritz. I'm Program Manager for Great Life Mentoring. My coworker and amazing person is Lauren Varney. She is our marketing specialist. She's the one that's going to be sharing our screen with you this morning. And so I'm excited to tell you more about our organization. We began in 2000 by our founder and executive director, Elizabeth Higley, through a partnership with the Clark County Department of Community Services and local mental health providers in Clark County, Washington. We were the first program in the nation to work with kids that are enrolled in mental health services. And we have served youth in Clark County for 25 years and have served youth in the Portland metro area for the last 2 years. So we were very excited to get the funding to allow us to start serving kids in Portland. We're an Oregon-based 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we recently celebrated our 25th anniversary with a special event at OMSI for our amazing youth, incredible mentors, and donors. And our mission statement is Great Life Mentoring cultivates meaningful relationships where children facing adversity and the mentors and the adults who mentor them live happier, healthier lives. Our youth are qualified to receive our services through two things. They're enrolled in mental health services, and then they're receiving publicly funded health care. Our youth are ages 9 through 16. Their diagnosis is mild to moderate. Some of the common diagnoses we see are anxiety, depression, trauma disorder, and ADHD. In addition to their mental health needs, our youth are often living in chaotic home environments. And with our mentoring program, it's completely voluntary. So we ensure the youth want a mentor, and then also ensure that the caregiver is allowing them to participate in our mentoring program. And with our youth, they need a friend in their life and opportunities to just be a kid and have fun. And that's where our mentors really come in so beautifully. I do have to just honorably mention Lauren, our marketing specialist. Before she came to be on staff with us, she was a mentor. And so she's been a volunteer mentor for 7 years, which is really just quite noteworthy. So I just wanted to, to prop her up on that. And then with our volunteer mentors, they really are the heart of our program, and they've provided over 100,000 hours of consistent supportive interactions. They give a 1-year commitment to see their friend once a week out in the community. And they are the kind of people who listen with empathy and are non-judgmental. They know how to have fun, but most importantly, they are the kind of people who honor their commitment. It is, if they say they'll be there, they're going to be there. And one of the things with our amazing kids is that they often come to our mentoring organization having trust issues. I would say probably about 95% of our kids do not trust the people in their lives just because of things not being followed through, the things that a person says they said they would do, they didn't follow through. And so this is the commitment that our mentors give, and just by being that consistent, stabilizing force each and every week, really gives the mentors an opportunity to earn the trust of their friend. And one of the things I know I often tell our amazing mentors is the greatest gift you'll get is the trust of your friend. And our mentors are just, I just can't say enough about them. They enhance the youth's life with their presence, showing up and believing the best in their friend. And they go through a stringent screening and vetting process and 20 hours of mentor training before being invited to become a volunteer mentor. And then our mentors are often become part of the treatment plan of the youth. And then something else that we have really taken note of, especially in the past 5 years, is that 100% of our youth who were still matched with their mentor at the time of graduation were successful in graduating from high school. 63% of those youth who graduated were not on track to graduate when they started mentoring services with us. And then with our outcomes, there have been significant improvements in the mental health conditions in our youth. We have a 99% mentor retention rate. And what that means is 99% of our mentors follow through to their 1 year commitment. And I will tell you the nationwide average is 45%. And then our average match length is 5 years. 73% of our mentors extend beyond their 1 year commitment and continue mentoring their friend long term. And then our model, the Great Life Mentoring Model, is a mental health intervention on the Washington State Inventory of Evidence-Based Practice, and we've received the highest rating of effective practice from the U.S. Department of Justice. We have leading researchers who have invested over a decade in studying our model, and we're now in the final years of a randomized controlled study, which is called the Study of Mental Health and Relationships, and it's also referred to as the SMART study, and it lays the foundation for Great Life Mentoring to scale its reach and impact. The SMART research study is assessing the impact of Great Life Mentoring on the mental health and well-being of youth, and will be used to help mentoring programs nationwide to better serve youth. And our outcomes are unmatched in the nation. The model has been transforming the lives of young people so dramatically that we're aiming to support youth nationwide by spreading GLM's model of quality and care. And what I'd love to end on is an amazing quote from one of our youth who participated in our mentoring program and is still matched with their mentor. And what the youth said is, she said about her mentor, having her in my life gave me a life worth living. And when we hear those kinds of quotes from our youth, it's what motivates all of us at Great Life Mentoring to do the work that we're doing, and to really make a difference in these kids' lives. Through our amazing mentors who are doing the work that is just so important, and it just begins with one life, and that can just have this amazing domino effect that can really impact communities. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Cindy. That was great. What an amazing program again. You have a few questions in the chat about your program, and a lot of praise about the work that you do. Thank you again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So finally, we have the Rose City Self-Defense, and Tony will be our presenter.
Right. Good morning. I'm gonna bring it on home. So my name's Tony Fujiwara. I'm the youth coordinator for Rose City Self-Defense. And I use they and she pronouns. We are a mighty team of two here at Rose City Self-Defense. We're in the city of Portland. But we do support a volunteer staff of nearly 50, so kind of similar to what Great Life Mentoring is doing and just other amazing programs. We really rely on the community to help support this, especially with their own lived experience. We consider ourselves sort of, well, let's see, we meet Portlanders where they are when it comes to community and personal safety. So while we do offer free programming in multiple places, we really listen to the needs of the groups that we're meeting and try to make sure that our personal safety and de-escalation trainings are appropriate, right? So we're really checking in and making sure that they are specialized a little bit too. So everything we do, personal safety, self-defense, de-escalation workshops, we're primarily women-centered, women identifying cis and trans women and non-binary people comfortable in a women-centered spaces. We have queer-specific classes as well, and then youth programming for those as young as 4th grade and up. Just quickly, this is what the programming kind of looks like. These classes we have within our community, these are ages 13 and up. You'll see these all over our website, which can get thrown in there, Rose City Self-Defense, for portlandoregon.gov. And from there, you can check out our community class or our youth. Community is 13 and up, youth is ages 11 and up. And we say 13 and up for community because if you're 13 to 16, you can take these classes with an adult. But these are all over the city. Once you've taken an introductory class, then you can take the defense against weapons. And then, like we said, we have a queer specific intro class. Youth, we similar, but we do 2-part classes instead of 3 just for the youth. And then we do summer camps. So coming up in July, we have 2 summer camps coming up. They're Monday through Thursday. They run from 9 a.m. to noon. And again, they are free. And what we try to do, and this is the thing here, is private too. Sorry, those are our public ones that are on our website. We also do private ones. So if you have an affinity group or just a group of 10 or more folks that you would like us to bring this to, we do really, like, I love doing guest speaking. I mentioned this when they were talking earlier about the Harmony. We do health classes. I just did all David Douglas high school freshmen. So that was basically in the health class. So every freshman's required to take health. And so we did their English language learners, we did the alternative school, and we did the full David Douglas campus. So roughly 700 kids got our personal safety workshop. They fit really nicely in the community safety unit that a lot of health classes do. But we also do after school workshops as well. If you want us to come in and do a workshop, family kind of, we do a lot of family and kids ones together as well. And then, so 90 minutes, no physical skills. And the first one, if we do a 90-minute one, it's just about trusting your intuition. So the bulk of our curriculum, we call it empowerment self-defense, because we're really going to use access the tools and options that we have before we have to get physical. And so that's what our personal safety workshop is reminding us about our intuition and it being our strongest tool. But then how does bias affect that? How does our past experiences and trauma affect our intuition, and what work can we do to undo that so that we can learn to trust it again? How do we, internally, physically, and mentally, what is our safest response? Being assertive, right? How do we set boundaries? When things start to get escalated, what are some de-escalation strategies we can use? But when is it a time for us to get out of that and it's not something that we can de-escalate? And when that happens, what are our escape options? And that's kind of our personal safety workshop. And then we can add a 30-minute physical skills, where once we've gotten to the point where we exhausted all of our options to try to prevent, and then we are in that survival stage, what are our tools to survive, including using physical skills and escapes. And that's kind of our most popular too that we do. If in the youth, we can kind of make it a 2-part. We'll add things like healthy relationships, consent, and upstander intervention. On the community side, we do a de-escalation specific, where they really get into high-level de-escalation strategies. We worked with PBOT, that are parking enforcement, right? So these are the kind of the Portland Parks park rangers, all the way down to like Girl Scout troops who are selling Girl Scout cookies and dealing with the public. So those are all just different workshops we offer. We are all over the city. You can see this is just a map of the city of Portland, and these are our community locations where we teach our free open community classes. we also really try to touch our unhoused community. We work with Rahab Sisters, New Avenues for Youth, Bybee Lakes. We do presentations and workshops for them. Any affinity group though that you've got, we're really happy to work with you. We do prioritize neighborhoods and communities of higher promise. So say Palhurst Gilbert, Hazelwood, Elliott, that's kind of where we're going to prioritize. Just some stats you can kind of go through on our own, but we really people walk into our course not knowing about their own safety and leave feeling much more in control of their sense of safety, and we love that. There's a little timeline. We've started back in 1979 and just kept adding programs. You might have known us as the Strengths program. We were called Women's Strength, Girls Strength, and Boys Strength up until 2022. About 43 years we were under the Portland Police, but with the communities we serve, we our volunteers asked us to get a move out of the police bureau into the community safety. So now we sit with the Office of Violence Prevention, and that's kind of where we are now. You know the city org. I'm not going to run you through that too much. Just wrap up in final questions. Send a request. Go to our website. It is real easy to navigate. You can see our community, queer, and youth-based classes. You can request a private workshop, and it just lists all of it. If you send an email to us, it's going to go to Sarah and I. We'll get it. We will hit that request back in a few days, and we're booked out about 2 months right now, so just kind of keep that in mind. And that is all I have.
Great. Thank you, Tony. That was great. We also have a few questions in the chat and just some comments about your program as well. That is it for today. Those are our presenters. I want to thank all our presenters for doing such an amazing job today and for all the amazing work they do in the community. We have a few minutes still in our time. So this is, I guess, time for anybody who has any announcements or questions to bring up.
Yeah, and Mike, looks like you wanted to share a little bit of information, so you can go ahead and then we can go into some Q&A and continue to use the chat. Looks like people have been really great about that.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah.
I'm Mike Sandell. I work for the Shadow Project. I'm so sorry I'm late. I just found out about this yesterday. We are putting on our summer goal setting program, which is a program intended for students in kindergarten through 8th grade with learning, attention, or behavior challenges. Younger and older siblings are also allowed to participate. So if you have like an 8th grader and a high schooler, or a kindergartner and a preschooler, everyone can participate. There's no like requirement, like we don't require like an IEP or a 504 plan or any sort of formal diagnosis for students to participate. If we are if the kid needs the help, we're happy to help. I'm gonna put our summer program page in the in the chat, and I'm really bad at typing and chatting at the same time. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, it's a really awesome program. Please feel free to refer any of the youth that you work with to it. There's 2 cohorts to choose from. I'm pretty sure we still have space in both cohorts. There's 2 4-week sessions, so the kids are like setting goals, working on their progress, tracking their progress, and as they're going through the program, they earn shadow bucks that they can then spend at the end in our shadow store. And then all of that stuff gets shipped to them because it's online, remote, virtual program. The kids don't have to like go somewhere to participate. They can do it from home. Yeah, I can also put my email in the chat if folks have questions. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about the program. Thank you so much for letting me mention it.
Of course. Thank you, Mike. That's great. Any other announcements or questions, comments?
I put my request in. I'm sorry, my name's Nicole Williams. I put my request in. I just started a group called the Black Affinity Group or the BAG. And I have a paid focus group coming up next week. I put the Google link in there. I'm looking for those who identify as biracial between 15 and 35. So if you know anybody who's interested, please forward that to them. And I put the reason why I'm doing it. Space is needed for biracial and multiracial folks, as it's something that I've noticed that there's a need for. I've facilitated Black affinity groups across middle school and grade school, and the subject of dual races, being of a dual race or multiple race has come up a lot. So I'm working on programming for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
I actually had a quick question about the disability specific classes from Rose City Self-Defense. Where could I sign up for those or find more information? Is there something specifically on?
Yeah, they're just a special, you just put in a request for service and just type in exactly what you're looking for. And then when we reach out, we'll just start to coordinate what you're specifically looking for, what are the needs of your group. And then Sarah Johnson, our program director, she's the one with 20 years of amazing knowledge on this. And she'll probably be the one that works with you on just making sure we're hitting your needs specific.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I can see there is other announcements in the chat. So as we're waiting for somebody else to come up and say any questions or announcement, you can look at the chat. I think we have some events coming up and also just other announcements.
Yeah, and I've speaking of chat, I've put it in there like so many times, so maybe I'll just say it. We have a post survey for this session, so would love for you to make sure you fill it out. That way we can kind of measure the impact of these sessions, and then we can also hear feedback so that we can continue to better them. So would really appreciate if you took just a few minutes to fill that out, and super appreciate you all being here today.
Okay. Any other announcements, comments, questions?
I have a quick one. There is a community good job fair that's going to happen tomorrow at Southeast WorkSource on Foster. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I've put a flyer into the chat. This is focused on employment with health organizations, and the levels of experience are from entry level to experience.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Any other person would like to share anything before we wrap up?
Can I just say something really quick? I just wanted to thank you because we really appreciate being able to have the resource fairs that are available to us for tabling events. That has been really monumental for us. So I just thank you so much for being able to provide those to us.
Thank you, Cindy. It's our pleasure to just connect everybody to each other and resources in the community. Thank you.
Oh, Beryl,
Yes.
I just wanted to see if you wanted to share about the upcoming networking event in July.
Yes, actually. So the CSN, in partnership with Rosewood Initiative, is currently planning a networking event at the Rosewood Initiative in East Portland. We want to focus on organizations that work in East Portland and nonprofit organizations. So if you're interested in showing up, we're gonna have it on July 24th. And if you can send me an email, I'll put my email in the chat and I'll share more information about the event. It's just a networking event for people to get to, you know, connect with each other and find opportunities to collaborate and serve the East County community better. And my email is in the chat. So please send me an email and I can send you more information.
Awesome, thank you. And I just wanted to also chime in real quick. I'm Annie Liddy Kugler, I'm with the CSN. We are in the process over the next 4 weeks of updating our website and our programming. So we're trying to move to kind of annual programming prep. So right now, there'll be some upcoming events posted on the website, but within the next few weeks, once we have a chance to update the website, we'll hopefully roll out a lot more programming in the near future. So just bear with us as we kind of move through this transition and update, and excited for all the things to come, and just really appreciate all of the amazing presentations today. And Beryl, great job doing that today. Maren, thank you so much. Just appreciate all that all of you do.
Thank you, Annie. Okay, I think that's it for today, folks. Thank you all for joining us. This has been a great session. And as we said, we'll send you follow-up information. And you can find the recording of this session on our YouTube page as well. Thank you all, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thanks, Beryl. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.